to him like that.
Is that right?
From the tone of your voice, you think otherwise.
Just continues to look off in the distance.
Oh,
I see no other place worth being.
He dips his head a bit at that, just in acknowledgement as well as contemplation. I don't know who all of you are. I only have my orders to have allowed you to come out here and make sure things remain peaceable. As well as my own orders to do observations out here. I don't know who you all are, what you're doing, where you're going, why you're doing it, how you're going to do it, or anything like that. So, he looks at you. I can only offer you a good luck in whatever it is you're doing. And not to forget that there is proper civilization when you come back south.
It looks. And what is it you've seen while you've been out here?
Oh, the things I've seen. He takes off his helmet, and you see now, like, his age. He looks mid-30s or so. So he is quite clearly like a steeped veteran amidst the Hellenic military, from the scars, the wear and tear, and so on his face. I was among the last people to be in the active combat efforts back in the good old days. He scans across the horizon. The things I've seen. The things I'm seeing. With the hand that's holding his helmet, he can still point. And begins pointing at certain spots. There are forward posts there, and then trailing down around, well, this range, 20-some miles out from the fort line. Forward posts, observation posts, so on. If you can check in with one of them, they might be able to tell you more recent comings and goings. That being said, most of the time they have especially these days, very bland report to give.
I would just break out my map. Would you mark them for me?
Let's see, what color should we get? Well, we go with this faint green to match the background. So let's see. 20 miles. Boop! There we go. Oh, shit, I changed the color. Oh, that's way too thin. Okay, small. They're about. They're a bit shorter than that, but.
Why don't you use a different shade than that green? Because that green goes straight into the background.
Well, that's sort of the point. Like, it's not meant to be super visible. But fine. There you go.
That's a little better, yeah.
There are many posts. Some are a bit more abandoned these days. Ugh. In terms of immediate environments and so on, I'm sure you can see some of the old townships. If you need shelter, there would be a fair bet than others. Camping out here in the hollow fields is a hard task, I assure you, given that it's so open.
Yes, I assume you're precisely right.
Back when I guess we went Hilllanders back then, but I'll say in the last Hilllanders went north to take the fight to the Nevos. We made war camps, things of that nature. I don't think many of them are around at all anymore, but there might be some that you find the ruins of. Those would also be to your advantage. And if you have a keen eye, I don't know, I don't keep up to date, or have reason to keep up to date rather. But there are stashes the scouts have left out there for fellow scouts. Take what you need, don't take it all. Unless you need it all.
Understood. We'll try to keep our foraging to the enemy supplies in Naruto.
He slips his helmet back on. Hear it, like, close and click. I think that would be preferable. But circumstances aren't always what we want. Do what you have to do.
Just nods. Thank you for your wisdom.
He nods. A fading wisdom. Not many Finlanders in the force actually have experienced active combat. So, put the proper use, huh?
That reminds me. You said back in the good old days.
Yes.
You really think they were good?
He thinks on it. Yes. These days, I know the capital calls it times of peace. Sure, they can call it whatever they want. Back at the capital. But as I said, we are a fading bunch. He gestures at himself. Combat veterans. Those that know the tricks of the Nevros. I imagine in a year's time, 2, 3, there'll be none left in the service except commanders, I suppose. Fair enough. Competent commanders can definitely turn the tide of war, but it is the boots on the ground that assure such.
A strong commander with a weak force leads to a collapse.
Correct. The Nevros are Nevros. They are fighting one another, fighting their environment. They are not growing weaker. We are, however. I don't care what the West Levy think of themselves. They are old guard. We're the new. Them showing up is not helping. It's not bolstering our lines. I know what they're here for. They're here for us. Every Highlander knows it, and they know it too. And
Is that
these
right?
days... He stops. Cutting short a thought. Very cleanly.
Jane just sort of looks around him, noting that there's no one.
Roll me your persuasion. Man, you are not rolling.
Oh, you have
Inspiration.
a +8? Okay.
Hey!
Oh, okay, okay.
Hey, good use of the inspiration. More than doubles the roll, nearly triples.
Very nice.
It's as if you got 270%, actually. You're not from around here, I can quite clearly tell that. So let me verse you in local politics, regional politics. I've been informed by some friends I have, ones that sit behind bigger desks than myself, that there has been, I suppose you'd call it a movement amongst Hilllanders. That's why the West Levy are here. The real reason. They want to secede. They want to leave the fold. They want to separate.
And go where?
Nowhere. There are many Hilllanders who are confident we can hold this territory by ourselves. And I would be lying if I didn't agree with them on that regard. That's why the West Levy are here. To make sure we don't rebel. I don't fault them for it. I'm not a separatist myself. but I know why many might take to the sentiment.
He just looks around back at the others. But you believe many are separate.
You cut out towards the end for me.
But you
Can you repeat
believe
that?
many of them are separatists.
Many, I don't know. I know for the groups I command, they're holding true to the crown. But we are a smaller town, a newly settled town. I know there are some more idealist, new blood, given the town's legacy. But I know in the older ones, the proper forts, there are a lot. If one of those forts towns separate, the provinces will have a hard time taking back the fort. So that's what the West Levy are stationed in the fort. Nick rolls his shoulder.
That does seem to make a lot more sense why tensions are so high.
Because both sides know that why the other side is there, what the other side is up to. I suppose you're free of the situation, not being from either side. Fortunate for you.
Perhaps so.
And then he looks over at the investigation site towards the crater in particular where the executors are. Are there parties joining into the region as well? He looks back to you. And here you are. And here I am.
Here you are indeed.
And get your name. You are.
Rede.
He holds out a handshake. Abraham.
Good to meet you, Abraham.
He looks back out to the person.
He just looks back towards the open expanse. Should you ever want to change a scenario and to keep those skills to use, perhaps there might be a place for you in the future.
Maybe. You're generous to offer so soon. But I think my place is with my company. Someone has to keep the peace, the order. Us loyalists have to make sure the numbers stay at least equal against the separatists. Oh, in case it wasn't obvious, I didn't tell you any of this. Say you heard it from that one down there. He points at Lambert. I know the signs of scrubbed armor when I've seen it.
Secretive information is only good if it's kept secretive.
Quite fair.
Just looks back on and waits for everyone to finish.
Speaking of that, meanwhile,
Meanwhile, in our universe.
so I'm assuming Deet and Brendan, you're contending with your familiars, June and Ore, respectively.
Yeah.
It's Ore, right? It's not
Yep.
Ore. It's like some. Okay, double check. It's not some other pronunciation. June and
It's
Ore.
aura with an E on the end.
Yeah, Ore with an E. So yeah, Ore. They are in the midst of flying around, exploring the new environment together. So go them. Polis has acquired rock. I got a jar of sand. Mission accomplished. In fact, that's how they flaunt it. She goes back to again. In my notes are called the Vagrants. She goes back to the Vagrants, And it's just like whipping it left and right. Like, look what I got. Except none of those three are spellcasters, so they have no fucking clue what it means.
I got a rock.
I got a rock. Look at this. I got one of it. I got some of it. They gave me some of it.
It's not a
What the
rock,
fuck
it's
is-
a
what the-
boulder!
You got a rock. It's not just a rock. It looks like just a rock. A glowing rock. So,
Fucking Dwayne rocks up.
Sajar, Oriana,
Yes.
Silas, Anushka. What are you guys doing?
Silas is spending time with
Go ahead.
them. They're just kind of watching.
Fair enough. Watching the flittering new creatures.
Just staring at the flying creatures. Just staring at them.
Yeah.
They both sort of have like a very spectral or iridescent vision or like visage about them. So watching them fly around is a bit not entrancing. It's entrancing the same way the road is entrancing after driving for a long road trip. Like it's just sort of something that just catches your eye. So, what are you doing?
I have some questions.
Yeah.
Sup?
Looking at the crystal, having worked a lot with gems and things like that, can I tell what kind of crystal it is?
Sounds like that's a roll of your skill or tool, rather.
What stat should I roll with?
Intelligence or wisdom, whichever's higher.
Got it.
That's hard to tell. Mostly given that it's shattered into a bunch of pieces.
Mm-hmm.
It's still relatively jagged, so you think it's some sort of azurite? Or azurite? How the fuck you want to pronounce it?
Yeah.
Azurite? Azurite? I don't know.
Yeah, Azurite.
Azurite, thank you.
What? So obviously it's been worked to near perfection. Yeah.
Correct.
Can I tell what kind of tools they would have used? Mundane, magical. If they used magical tools, Sajar's thinking is, how on earth did they make sure that the tools didn't get sucked dry, so to speak?
Right, yeah, because these things absorb magic energy. Ooh, I think that one would actually be different. I think that one would be an Arcana roll in that regard. But you can use your highest mental stat, so Charisma, I assume.
Wisdom.
That's Wisdom, my bad. Right, we should change some stuff.
1d20 plus, what is it? Proficiency. Oh, so 4.
What?
Yes, that makes sense.
You are
I'm so
quite
sorry.
confident that this was not mundanely made, which just begets the bigger question in your mind: how did they use magic stuff on magic absorbing element or crystal and not like dwindle down? Which is like wondering now you're wondering that, like, did they just spend a lot of fucking time doing it? It's like, hit it once, alright, batteries drained, recharge back to full. Hit it once, alright, batteries drained, recharge back to full. And you're just like, there's no way. There's no way that's how they did it. That would be so improportionately long to actually making this shit. But then you're just like, there's like a nagging sensation if I can have like, but what if?
I think Sajar's prejudice would come in here. He would think, okay, giants, craftsmanship. Oh no, yeah, they totally brute forced it.
Yeah, you don't know. You don't know. Or I guess they brute forced it.
They do not intricate details. They fucking hit it with a hammer.
And then they recharge the hammer and then again, you know. It's like